Good afternoon. This is Joanne Hennig, Photo Art Pavilion. Happy to have you with us today for today's this month's J&J Photo Art Marketing Cafe. I have a nice topic to go over with you today, entitled "Audience Saturation Leads to Lead Generation." So we'll dig into that in just a little bit. I wanted to introduce my business partner, Jessica Lempin. Jess, if you wouldn't mind saying a quick hello.
Of course. Hey guys, thank you for joining us today. We have some great information ahead of you. I also have a series for pro tips at the end once Joanne is done, and it's all based around Instagram and some of the changes that they have recently revealed to everyone. So without further ado, let's jump into everything, and we'll be able to open up at the end for Q&A and talk about all the topics and so on that we have at hand.
Yeah, great. Thanks, Jessica. Before we get started, I did put into the chat room some information. I wanted to always remind you, art photographers, that Photo Art Pavilion does have a series of open calls coming up. Two of them, the next two are going to be virtual only, which I think is helpful to for you photographers to get your work basically up against other photographers. It is a small competition, and at the same time, it's a bit of a curation process. So it's a nice thing to get involved in. Plus, it saves you some money. You don't have to go to the print shop and the frame shop to get your work seen by others. So the virtual open calls are coming up. We've got two. I think one finishes up. The deadline comes this Friday. So go to our website, photoartpavilion.com. On the bottom, you'll see open calls. One of the links there. You could click on that. Also, heading over to photoartpavilion.com, on the bottom navigation of the website, there's a button there for workshops. If you're interested in doing something out in the field with myself, Jessica, or one of our other photography pros, certainly get involved with those. They're a lot of fun. We were just out this past weekend, Shelter Island on Long Island, and we had a really nice time poking around in the fog, which was a lot of fun. So let me move forward today with our topic, which is entitled "Audience Saturation / Lead Generation." So when you are not hitting your sales goals, you might be thinking that there is something wrong with your approach to your marketing. Or maybe you might be thinking that your art is not very great anymore. Something might be going on, but rather what you might be coming up against is your audience. Your audience could be the problem. The oversaturating is a common problem. Oversaturating your audience can create a kind of a fatigue for them, and it could sideline your goals. The same eyeballs on the same offerings can get dull for anyone rather quickly. Think of yourself, like when you open up your email, your inbox, and you skip emails from the same companies over and over again. After a while, you become a little bit desaturated, right? I find the same thing to be happening a little bit with Instagram. You get a little desaturated, desensitized to what's going on. It's the same stuff over and over and over again. So we want to be able to remove that dullness from those eyeballs that are looking at your art. And I'm not saying to abandon the leads that you already have in your, whether it be your direct marketing, whether it be in your Instagram or your Facebook followers. I'm not saying to abandon that, but what I am saying is that lead generation is essential to continue to grow not only your followers, obviously, but also to grow your sales and to help you reach your goals. So I want to work on today trying to get into your brain to get some, how are we going to get some fresh eyeballs on your art? And that's really what we want to be looking at. So you're a great marketer. So let's grow the audience, right? I know you guys are out there marketing your work. I see you on social media. I see your direct emails. You've put me on your email lists, which is a great thing. I love to see what it is that you're doing and what you're promoting. And I also see you in the exhibits around my local area. So I know you're doing your marketing, but now what we need to do is we need to help you grow your audience so that you always have fresh and new eyeballs on your artwork. So as of today and all of your marketing days to come, okay, your top priority is going to be to acquire new customers. So let's make this your top priority for the remainder of this year, which is, we're 3 months down. We have the first quarter's down. We're heading into we're in the second quarter, moving forward rather rapidly. So by the time we get to the year end, where all those wonderful holiday sales come in, let's see if we can't grow that audience that's looking at you and your artwork. So more marketing should not equal less revenue, right? If you've reached that stage in your art business, you have to consider a fresh set of eyeballs on your offering. In other words, if you have the same 100 people in your email list and you're marketing to them over and over and over again, and initially maybe you receive 25% of that list has made purchases for you, and then all of a sudden that's diminished down to 0. Why is that? Because the same people in your list receiving the same offering over and over and over again are going to be desaturated. That list is going to become desaturated. So you always have to be making lead generation your number one priority in your art business. So there's a certain number of people on your mailing list that are never going to buy from you. And that's a reality. So if you have 100 people on your list, don't expect to get 100 sales. That's an impossibility. If you have 100 followers on Facebook or Instagram, don't expect 100 sales from each of them. So growing your audience, obviously, as we've kind of drilled into this already, I'm going to repeat myself, but it is the key to growing your sales in total. So invest is what I'm going to say to you. Invest/reinvest in your future by implementing lead generating growths starting today and going through to forever. So don't stall your business growth because you lack a lead generation growth plan. So I want to try and give you some of that today, some things that you can do on your own. There are services out there. I don't have one that I can recommend to you yet, but there are services that help you build lead generation. I mean, just a simple one off the top of my head, you can go out and buy email lists tomorrow if you wanted to, and you could start generating, pushing out direct email to those new leads. But, you have to make sure that those lead generation lead generation leads that you buy, that they're qualified. So you got to be a little bit careful because there are a lot of sketchy companies out there. But the simple and inexpensive tactic that generates hundreds of leads each month is to do something like this. All right, what we want to do is we want to create a unique monthly contest that either art collectors, interior designers, or property managers as a whole would be interested in. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to take that contest. We want to, and it's got to be creative. It's got to be something that's really going to generate, oh my goodness, I want that. I have to have that. You want to take that contest, you want to share it. You want to get those people to follow you, and you want to get them to enter to win whatever that contest is. So for instance, if you're targeting interior designers, now you could create these contests on social media, whether it be Instagram or Facebook. You can drill into, you can run ads if you want to run ads. If you don't, you can post these contests inside of the different groups that are available on social media. So let's say the first group that you're going after is interior designers. So perhaps you want to say something like, you want to give away maybe a measuring tape with a laser, or a sketchbook, or a Pantone shade book, something that they might need in their interior design business. Okay, so you want to share that contest into the group of interior designers. You want to get them to follow you, and at the same time you want to get them to enter to win whatever that prize is at the end. How do they enter to win? Well, they've got to provide to you some basic contact information. I would suggest name, obviously, email, phone number, and location. So for instance, you're giving away a Pantone, each year Pantone comes out with the hot colors for the year, right? So for the interior designers, perhaps in the contest you could run towards maybe January, February, whatever, or even December. giving away that Pantone color book for the new year upcoming, which means that anybody that comes to them looking for interior design services, they're going to want the latest colors and so forth. What if we're giving away a free Pantone shade book, and that interior designer gives you their information, their name, their email, where they're located, and their phone number? Now you've got a new contact and a new person to send out your marketing material to. If you do this on a regular basis, whether it be with interior designers or property managers, let's talk property managers. Maybe with a property manager, you can give away a 1-year subscription to a specific software that property managers use to run their businesses. There's one that I ran into called Manage Casa, which is $150 value for a year's subscription to that software. Maybe you're going to give away to all these property managers a free year subscription to Manage Casa. Do you think that maybe you might get maybe 50, 100, maybe 300, maybe 1,000 property managers that might be interested in winning that software? The answer is most likely yes. Those are going to be new leads that are going to come into your email list, going to come into liking your Facebook page, your Instagram, and so forth. And you're going to have the ability to add new eyeballs to your marketing efforts going forward from this day going forward. You can give things away to property managers like a free photo shoot for one of their properties, an on-site photo shoot. And you could put a value on it, $350 value, $400 value, whatever it is that you consider that to be. But now you're giving away something in exchange to receiving something. You're giving away a service, you're giving away a software, you're giving away, I don't know, something that their industry, that they're running their business, that they need in their business. And in exchange, they're giving you their contact information, which is what we've always said for the last, oh my gosh, over a year now, maybe 2 years. You have to have that direct email list to continue to grow your sales, your online sales. Okay. So the other thing that you might be able to do is give away a free book, a free art book to them that they could put on there. If it's a hospital, let's say, you can give away free coffee table books for all of their waiting rooms, reception rooms, and things like that. So there's a lot of different ways that you can go about running your contest. It's a question of what are you comfortable with, and what do you think will generate the desire coming back from your audience, your target audience, that's going to give them the desire to put down their name, their email, and saying, yeah, I want to win that. I mean, I've done contests in the past through Facebook, just giving away simple, an 8x10 art print. I used to do have a photograph of one of my art pieces, and I would put it up on my Facebook page and say, if you can guess this location, then I will send you a free print. But before I could send them the free print, I had to have their contact information. So I was building my direct email list in that regard as well. So you want to have the ability to give away some kind of a prize. The bigger the prize, the bigger the lead generation that's going to come back to you. Okay. So remember, what we're trying to do here is avoid the saturation of the same leads that you have and that you've been working over and over and over again. We want to be able to keep building your lead list so that it doesn't become saturated, so that you're always generating sales. So you want to be able to choose your target audience, whether it be property managers, interior designers, or something else. Choose your contest or your giveaway. Okay, then we want to create your ads that collect the name, the email, and the phone number. And if you don't want to spend money on advertising, then you're going to have to find a way to be very clever by putting that in your post, whether it be Instagram or Facebook or Twitter or whatever it is, where maybe you have to say to them, like, direct message me, DM me for contest details, or DM me for further information, something where you can now create this engagement of someone who's interested in your offer. Okay. And once you have collected their name, their email, their phone number, and perhaps their location, now they're officially one of your new leads. Okay. And then those leads that get entered into your mailing list, and then the excitement continues, right? So now they've come to your offer. They're excited, they're engaged, they provide you with their email information, their name, and now you're going to announce the winner. Now you could take that a few steps further. You can announce the winner just in a simple post, but perhaps let's say you did send off the new Pantone color book to an interior designer. Okay, you get the book in their hands, you require them to take a photograph of them, with the book in their hands, send you the picture back. That becomes the announcement. And then they can share that with their audience. And now you're even getting more and more likes, more and more engagement in the things that you're doing on a contest level. But all this is doing is, you may feel initially like, oh my gosh, I'm giving away. I keep giving away. But what are you gaining in return? You're gaining a future art purchaser, an art buyer, somebody who's engaged with what it is that you're doing and wants to stay engaged with what it is that you're doing. So then once you send out, you announce that winner, you send out the gift, you get that testimonial, we'll go from them. You get to share that testimonial with your existing audience. It might even jazz them up a little bit more. Like your existing audience might be already saturated, but now you put this contest in front of them, and now they're back to being excited to following your work and being engaged in what it is that you're doing online and beyond. So then you can repeat that contest with a new target audience, or you can create a new contest with the old target audience, or you could do both. But it's the idea is to do this on a monthly basis, because if you're not offering something out there to the consumer with a potential buyer from your artwork, if you're not offering something to them, what makes you think that they're not going to be disinterested rather quickly in what it is that you're selling, especially if it's the same offer over and over again? So one other point, you don't want to be offering this contest to your existing leads. Like if someone comes through, you're running the contest, and someone comes through and they're already on your lead list, if you will, you want to be saying this is for new customers only in some way, in a kind way, in a loving way. You want to be able to say that without alienating them, your existing customers. But you do want to make it so that the purpose of this entire exercise is that you're bringing in new potential art buyers for yourself. Okay, so the goal is to grow your list, your leads, and to do this month after month. And if you do that, what you're going to realize is that, and again, I always talk about goals, right? So if your goal is by the end of the year to grow your list by 10%, 20%, whatever the number is, start tracking, see how you're doing. If your list is 100 and your goal is to grow by 20%, then by the end of the year, you should have 120 on that list, and so forth. So think in that vein, and I guarantee you will have some additional people to be talking to about your artwork. Those people might be talking to other people. Last month, I believe it was last month or the month before, we talked about the referral program and making use of your existing customer base to bring them to a point of trust, so that they would refer you to their friends and families for art buying needs. This is another way of extending that. So you're putting those two elements together, that referral program and also this lead generation, and then you could take this to the next level, and you can really grow your audience in utilizing those two tools as a really powerful way of reaching new eyeballs, having your art reach new eyeballs, which is really the goal.
All right, so pro tip for this month. Instagram is a beast, and it has changed its process once again. So I just have a couple of things I'm going to share with you guys. And as of right now, Instagram is basically rewarding accounts that post daily, which can be a little overwhelming. But at the same point, if you're able to shoot a couple of posts a day, one post a day, you're going to get a little bit better results as far as engagement and eyeballs, again, on your work. and also hashtag changes. So Instagram, sorry, whew, is basically stating 3, maybe 5 hashtags, and that is it on a post. 3, you'll get better results. So that is huge. They allow technically up to, I think it's 22, 25 hashtags. And now they're saying, no. If you're going to be setting up all those hashtags, we're not going to show your work as much or your post as much. So try to narrow down your post. And again, the idea is if you are posting 1, 2, 3 times a day, some people are very, very proactive. You can diversify your hashtags. You can be very specific as far as your subject matter, location, type of personnel you're looking to have view your work. So again, interior buyers, art collectors, office managers, facility managers. These are all hashtags that you can utilize in reaching more of that corporate world. If you're looking for more of the general public, abstract art hashtags, photo of the day hashtag, these are much bigger pools or groups in Instagram, and you'll get a few more eyeballs. I mean, granted, competition is high in some of those bigger hashtags, but at the same point, you never know who's going to stumble upon your post. So those are huge as far as the hashtag and posting requirements, if you will, for better results. They're also stating that if you're putting a post up, add audio to it. So you can actually do that in Instagram. If you have a one graphic that you're posting on Instagram, there's the option to add audio now. And they're saying that you get a better result when you have their audio, basically. So either there's like a little music clip or something that you're able to add to your post. And that just adds a little bit more, let's say, entertainment factor or so on to those posts. Also, don't be afraid to use reels. They're still kind of doing the incentive for the reels. And I know it's hard. We're in a still world kind of, I'm sorry, still life kind of world. So here we are, we're photographic artists. We are freezing time. And yet they require, or at least help incentive, push posts that have motion, that are living and moving, and it's kind of hard for us, but it's not. So if you don't overthink it, you can definitely use Canva and pick maybe 3, 5 images that you're looking to feature in a reel, and you're able to create slides and have those slides basically change every second, 2 seconds, whatever it is. And this way you're creating a mini video, and that mini video can be added as a reel. So now it's just basically sliding of images. It's just automatic sliding of images. So that's something you can do, and add music to it as well, or audio, through the upload process on Instagram. And again, all of these elements help Instagram add a little bit more stickiness to your account. And then of course, with Instagram or any other social media, it doesn't hurt to boost a post. If you have something that has a good CTA, call to action, perhaps maybe like a shop now or explore my portfolio, whatever it is, don't be afraid to throw $5, $10, $15 behind that post, just to go beyond your group of followers. So again, when paying for ads, you're going just beyond the people that already see you. And that helps to just keep growing and growing your network, really. Again, if you're running a contest, you can always boost that contest and specify who it is that you want to see it. They have demographics in Instagram and Facebook where you're able to actually isolate who you want to see these posts. So you can actually do interior designer, make sure it's a job, not a like an interest. You want an actual job. You can also do for buyers, art buyers. List the high-end clothing stores and stuff like Saks, Nordstrom's, Bloomingdale's, things like that. Like, what is it that your buyer that you're envisioning shop at? What kind of interest do they have? So that's, different ways to break down who's going to see those posts or, the boosted contests.
Yeah.
So all of this is, I know it's a lot of information and kind of overwhelming, especially if you're not like in the moment and processing. a boosted post or a ad. So anybody have questions, obviously shoot us a quick email and we'll be able to assist you as best we can.
I'd like to add something, Jessica. So you're layering on top of what I spoke about. So we're talking about audience saturation / lead generation. So if you're going to make use of social media as your pillar for bringing in new leads, building your connection, yes, Instagram has some parameters that they want you to work within. But what Jessica mentioned towards the end of her pro tip was utilizing the boost of a post. Now, if you're going to spend $5 on a boost, make sure you're going to get a lead generated back to you. So maybe that's how you take your contest, whatever it is. I don't even mind if it's giving away a print. You could have something like, this is new art in my portfolio, something new that you're offering for sale. But the giving it away, if you want to give it away, you boost it for $5. And in return, you want their email address, you want their contact information. If your target is interior designers, whatever that contest is, you can boost that post that specifically reaches interior design career people, professionals, and from there, those people will respond to those contests with their lead information that comes back to you. So try to marry the two discussions that we had here today between generating new leads and then making use of Instagram and or Facebook, which are the primary ways us photographers are reaching our new audiences or our existing audiences, and making sure that in return you're getting the ability to generate some new leads that go into your direct email list, which is really going to be the fuel that brings you the buyers coming into, believe it or not, the holiday season is right around the corner. And this is all the work, this is the groundwork that we have to do now in order to be ready come the holiday season.
I just want to add too, in Facebook, if you go to create an ad, they do have it where it's a lead generation result, meaning that you'll add a graphic, some information. You're going to select the fields that you want your audience members to fill out. So name, email, phone number, location, like Joanne was mentioning. And from there, it's basically two different windows, if you will. So maybe two graphics, one graphic, you decide. And then from there, when you launch the ad, Facebook is going to basically create a spreadsheet for you of those fields already filled out. And what's great about a Facebook lead generation ad is that it basically has the user's information already set up. So if, let's say, I come across one of your ads, it's going to say win X, and all you have to do is fill out the form. Great. So basically I can tap those fields and it's going to fill it out for me. And then I just hit submit. So it takes that ease out of that person typing in all their information, because you're already on the platform. Facebook is obviously already aware of their name, their email, their phone number. So it just automatically puts it in for them and they just have to basically hit submit to it. So that's another way to easily create the sale. And also you're able to specify your demographic. Who is it that you want to see? Is it more of a corporate one or is it more of a personal one where it's an art buyer, art collector? So, all right, I think that's it.